our day, we can beat most teams, but we haven't been on our day a lot this season.
Yes.
So I think we got a 50% chance because it's cup. Anything can happen in the cup, and like I said, knockout games are all about one-off performances, and if you can keep having one-off performances, so
we've also got the aspect of NTFA Cup. You could really have an easy run in NTFA Cup until all the way to like the final. Like you saw Man United. I mean, they did play Liverpool, then in the FA Cup, but semi-final they still played against Coventry. With enough luck, you can get to the final without really playing anyone. And once you're in the final, well, you're in the final. So then everything's up for grabs, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and I think for me, this game is it's still important because I think if we go out to Orient, that's going to really just derail the fan base, the players, and I think most of us up on was asset were done the season at that point because if we lose to Orient, then at this point, what else do I look forward to? But if we win, good. Next round, that's what we really want to get to. Next round, in the 5th round, in that, let's see what after that. But for me, my head's more on Madrid than it is on Orient. I know it's one game at a time, but
same with me, honestly, which is why I wanted to start with the FA Cup, because I think we're going to be talking about Real Madrid probably most of this stream, if I'm being honest. So that is why I get on to start with the FA Cup. I know once we begin about Real Madrid, we're not going to stop talking about them. So I'm just going to ask a question here to set the expectations here, I suppose, for this season. Is the FA Cup a must for you two? Do you think we must at least get to the final or at least win it? Yeah. What is your opinion?
Yes.
Yeah. I think we've got to bare minimum make it to the final, and the only team that for me we could lose to any team because it's football, but the only team that we quote unquote should be losing to on paper would be Liverpool. Don't want to, obviously, but that would be much like playing Real Madrid. Like the only team where you just got to put your hands up and be like, all right, we were always second favourites going into that. But if we get to the final, you'd like to win it at that point, wouldn't you? So for me, we've got to win it because the league is all but gone, basically gone.
I think the league is already gone. I've got a question here from This Is City. Are we all starting Gonzalez, he asks. I don't want his first game being Real Madrid, he argues. That is actually something I wanted to ask myself, because I'm going to argue the same thing. I don't want his first game to be Real Madrid. So I would want him to start in the FA Cup already. I'm not sure if when he arrived. He arrived like 2 days ago, right? Or 1 day ago. So
I think so, yeah.
I think we should start him now. I don't reckon that will be too controversial.
No, I agree. I think what we got to do tomorrow is start a relatively strong team. So I think because some players, obviously, out of the guys like Doku, Diaz, and that obviously back from injury, we have no idea where they are in terms of fitness, 100% fitness yet. So I would play them as well on the bench. But this is a game where obviously McAtee give him a chance, or give him a chance. But I'm not filming the whole youth team this time because you can't really do that because players come back from injury, and we fitness first players for Madrid and Newcastle. So for me, it's kind of like semi-strong. So it's still youth players, but also enough strength to get us over the line. Because for me, Haaland on the bench, or not even in the team for me, rest of Madrid, Marmouche up front. Him, likens me.
Yeah,
I'll do it anyway.
I think.
There you go.
I think Mubama's got a good chance of starting tomorrow, but like you said, I think Marmouche almost serves like a bit like a second striker to play maybe alongside him, but almost a little bit behind him as well. But tomorrow I would like to see Nico Gonzalez because, again, like you guys rightly mentioned, his first match being against Madrid, it's even worse than Cusanov's first match being against Chelsea.
Yeah, that's way worse because Chelsea was out of form. Real Madrid and Europe, I mean, that's the biggest game of anyone's career. Oscar Bobb on right wing off the bench in the FA Cup. I'm not sure.
Off the bench, yeah.
You know what my thing is, yeah? I'm just not going to talk about Oscar Bobb because I have absolutely no idea what his fitness is. Like, we don't know what it is. Only Pep knows, in my opinion.
I think from what I've seen, apparently it's like obviously he's training for almost a month and a half now, so he's obviously got some fitness now, which is good. But he has to be a bench player because remember he's come back from a leg break. He obviously it's been fixed now, but there's a weakness there at the break, so we can't be rushing him back saying Bob save our season because that's not how it works. He's 21 years old. I want to be giving him a bit of time, so. Me off the bench, Madrid, I wouldn't even bother Madrid. Just don't even play him in Madrid. I think I'd keep him for the league games and the cup games. And if you get a chance to get Champions League go further, then of course play him then. Mm-hmm. But right now, I'm just all about now just bedding him in gradually. Don't rush him back. Just Jimmy, by season should be all right.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we flushed a few players back too quickly, and that has made our injury crisis worse by prolonging it. So. I don't want. This is the problem as well. Rodri has been officially signed up for the squad, the Champions League squad, that is the last thing I wanted to see. I did not want Rodri to be in that squad. If he plays any games, come on. I just
for me, he should be on the sidelines the rest of the season. Don't even bother. Look, I love the guy. He obviously wants to come back. We all do, but you are there for next season. That's what my eyes are now. Absolutely. Rest of the team, get us over the line, top 4, scrape over the line, get out of the season, get out of here, go again in the next season. Don't be rushing back for the season. That's pointless now.
Yeah.
It's the conversation we had in the last stream, isn't it? Long-term thinking over the short-term thinking, right?
Yeah.
This is City. You're correct on that. Why no watch-along on Friday, by the way? I'm not doing watch-alongs anymore on Fridays because I'm doing this show. I've explained that previously, but I guess you read it here then. I didn't want to see Rodri at all until August. Generally speaking, when you get an ACL, it's like a year, right? Like, generally speaking. So I was thinking Rodri would be back, come again, Luke?
Sorry. Usually with ACL injuries, they're about 6 months minimum of recovery and 3 or 4 months of actual development and training. So you're looking probably at least June, July, probably, before I'm 100% fit. And I'm not playing a 50% Rodri against Madrid against anyone because what they'll do? They'll target him. That's what they'll do because I know you want him back 100% fit, no issues to worry about, ready to go again. I want a fresh Rodri for the start of the season.
Absolutely.
To go take off Liverpool.
Otherwise, why did we buy Gonzalez, right? Otherwise, why did we get Gonzalez?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because we hustled for him price-wise as well, which very much so annoyed me. But I'm still annoyed, by the way. We could have had Gonzalez before that Arsenal game. He could have made a world of the difference there. I'm not saying we would have won, but we could have lost less badly at the very least. So it's a big difference, isn't it? So I've got something good here from LSU Odyssey. Is that how you pronounce that? In chat. Yeah, Oscar Bobb, his injury at start of the season. How big do you guys think that is? Because he's saying it's incredibly big. I think attack is honestly the least of our issues. I don't think that injury was too bad. Obviously, it's not great, but I don't think it was our biggest problem this season.
At the time that it happened, it was so gutting because obviously he had such a good preseason, and even in the Community Shield, he absolutely cooked some of United's players, and he just looked really, really sharp. Now then, do I think if Oscar Bobb doesn't get injured, we're second place fighting Liverpool for top? No, I think the issues are deeper than that. And Rodri's injury is obviously incredibly large, but for me, I think maybe in individual games, if Oscar Bobb had managed to, let's say he managed to somehow keep that form from preseason, and he took that into certain individual games, maybe we've got a couple more points, but I don't think I don't think we're like title contenders if he didn't get injured.
Yeah, and no possible way are we title contenders. We can only get 83 points in the Premier League now.
For me, the issues were always been up here. Mentally, this team has lost its heads because even if Rodri injured, right, we would not have lost this many games. I mean, Brighton away would have been a win. Bournemouth away, all right, it's Bournemouth a difficult one. We might have got a draw another day. Some games we would have found a way to get back into them or would have won them. Like Tottenham at home, you know, it's 4-0 on the Tottenham. That's a whole different issue. I think this season's been more about up here injuries, and it has been more about one player being out. It's a team collective mistake for me. There's one player.
Yeah. Now transitioning into that Arsenal game, I just want to say about that Arsenal game. The thing is, we weren't that bad in the Arsenal game until like we started off terribly. Like, don't get me wrong, but in the middle section of that Arsenal game, we were not that bad until we got to after the goal, like after we equalized.
The Partey goal. That's when the heads went.
Yeah, that's when the heads went. And what I've said about this midfield since before the PSG game is these players don't lack ability, they lack energy. They lack mentality also because they've won everything. At a certain point when you win everything, you stop caring. Like, let's be honest. So the hunger is gone. They can do 50, 60 minutes. More than that, they can't do. After 60 minutes in the PSG game, we were 2-0 up. After 55 minutes, I believe, in the Arsenal game, we were 1-1. And then it collapses. So I think this midfield, honestly, you can play this midfield for 45 minutes and be just fine. It's about what comes after. So do you want to play this midfield or do you make halftime substitutions? How do you address that? I don't know. I've been talking about this for a while. I'm just happy to have Nico Gonzalez because I think he'll solve the issue of collapse. I think if we lose, we'll just be worse. I don't think we'll collapse anymore.
Yeah, 100% legs. That's what we're going to have for a while because Bernardo Silva's been used like a wet blanket now. He's completely his legs are gone. But I'm not saying he's not a bad player, by the way. He's still a brilliant footballer. But we've used him so much to the point where he needs a break, minimum a few months break. Like he can't do this anymore. Kovacic is good, but not on his own. Gundogan's 34 now. His legs are gone. Gonzalez to me, Gonzalez, Kovacic, Bernardo actually isn't a bad midfield because you got legs behind them. Then two can sort of focus on the more pressing and getting forward side. You got one guy sitting back to help out with Diaz and whoever at the back. That's all we need. Yeah. I'm not asking for 3 DMs. 1 DM will be fine, thank you very much. Just get it balanced. Get a back midfield. I'm not saying we're winner, but much more improved, I reckon. Much improved.
Absolutely. I agree with everything Jay just said. Yeah. Connect, what is your take on that, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right about basically like 45 minutes with that midfield and then make changes to get it right, to try and finish off games potentially. But with Gonzalez, he's obviously hungry to come in. He wants the same glory that midfield has had.
Absolutely, go on.
And I think what Luke said was actually quite good. How Kova isn't the greatest on his own, because I actually agree with that wholeheartedly, because I think last season near the end of it, him and Rodri played alongside each other a lot.
Yes.
And it allowed both of them they really complemented each other really well. It allowed Kovacic to drive the ball forward more without really worrying about the DM position. Then once he's done his job, he could help out Rodri if we lose the ball and get hit on the break or something like that. And I think it worked really well. And hopefully maybe we see that happen again with Nico Gonzalez.
Yeah, and you know what I would say to that? Rodri, I mean, he can play as a 6, as a double pivot, if you provide someone else next to him. But he's more of an 8 than he is a 6. So why did he play well when he was next to Rodri? Because he wasn't a 6, he was an 8. So in my opinion, allowing him to play his natural position allows him to be a lot better. Having him as a double pivot, I think, with Nico Gonzalez is going to be better than just trying to have Nico Gonzalez do not Rodri's job. He's not going to do that, let's be honest. So I think we'll have to be a bit more conservative. But I do think Nico Gonzalez and Rodri, Kovacic double pivot will be a lot more solid. And Rodri can still push up a little bit, maybe not as much as he would with Rodri, and try to get forwards right. So I agree with pretty much everything you guys are saying. So a bit off topic here before we continue about Arsenal, because we won't get a chance to talk about this otherwise. Who do you think will win the Carabao Cup? Because that just happened.
Newcastle.
I really want it to be Newcastle, and on that day I will be cheering them on. But I don't know. Not many teams can really stop Liverpool, though. To be fair, Newcastle didn't they get a 3-3 draw against them, which was very impressive.
Against Liverpool at Anfield, yeah.
Yeah. So
with Liverpool, though, for me, they're very reliant on Salah and certain players. If they get injuries, how are they going to cope with that? Because I'm not saying they're a bad team, by the way. Their fans will get angry saying,
you know what it is, Luke. Sorry for interrupting here. That is the same with us and Rodri. That is the same with us, Rodri, Haaland, and I don't know, maybe Diaz, you could say. Diaz stones his judgment there then.
Van Dijk, Salah.
They are the same, they are really the same as us, and I'll allow you to go on then, because sorry for interrupting here. They are the same as us, but we were the ones who ended up getting the injuries. So, not saying they don't deserve the league title, of course they do.
No.
But they have the same issues as we do. So, yeah, sorry for interrupting. Go on. No,
it's right. It's fine. It's just that's the thing. Like, Liverpool are a good team, but they're not this exceptional world-class team. Like, they're getting the result because they've got the players like Salah who should remain fit. Van Dijk remained fit, and fair play. If you get that luck, good for you. But the problem is, if they get injured to certain players and they've got to rely on younger players to come in who aren't as good as them, you'll start seeing a difference in that team. And that's why for Liverpool, this season is okay, but long term, that will screw him over. Because Slot's got lucky, really, that the fact that he's got the same squad last season, but he brought no one apart from Chiesa and another keeper from Valencia coming in this summer. He brought no one else in. A couple games, a couple here and there, but he's been very hit and miss. So Chiesa, that's the thing.
I don't get at Liverpool.
Long term, Liverpool will struggle because this season they'll be alright, but next season it'll be hard for them because even their fans they'll admit as well that long term they don't look very good because certain players like Van Dijk are getting older. And you have to replace them with as good or better players. You aren't going to get that. So they're in a difficult situation themselves where eventually they'll be in a situation like us again. So right now it's fine, but not so much.
I talked about this with Nick on Wednesdays. I do shows Wednesday morning with Nick from the football club. So he's a Liverpool fan, obviously. He is saying the same stuff. He's like saying, one Salah injury and our title race can collapse just like that. So they have really the same problem that we have, which is over-reliance on players. Funnily enough, we got the injuries, which short out season is done because of it. But at the very least, our Premier League season. But long term, at least, we made the signings that maybe we would not have made otherwise. So, funnily enough, getting those injuries is like long term better for us if you look at it that way. Liverpool is still in a one-off game, which is the cup final. I do want Newcastle to win it because Liverpool will just keep drawing further and further ahead otherwise in that League Cup. How many do they have now? 10? They'll have 11. We're 3 behind. I want Man City to be the top Carabao Cup holder because that is the one thing that we can actually be close to, right? FA Cup, we need 7 more. Champions League, we need 14 more. Premier League, we need 10 more. We have 10 Premier League, league titles, right? Yeah. So we need 10 more. Carabao Cup is that one thing we're close enough to realistically in the near future actually become the record holders of that competition. So I don't want Liverpool to ever win that trophy again. As for the Carabao Cup as Man City, I think next season we'll actually go full in for the Carabao Cup. And here is why. Haaland, obviously, he's won the Premier League, FA Cup, and Community Shield. So one thing he's lacking is Carabao Cup. Now imagine all the PR you can do, all the marketing, when Haaland completes English football. Like just marketing-wise, that is a big thing, right? So I think next season we will actually go big into Carabao Cup. And before I let you guys go on, the Dust Seals, you guys almost bottled a 3-goal lead to Holstein Kiel. Shut up, man. So yeah, go on.
Yeah, man. Like Bayern for me, I mean, I'll start shopping a bit, but Bayern for me, when I watched them, right, and I don't care if people get at me. Bayern are lucky they have Harry Kane and Musiala, because I'll tell you, right, their defense is so bad. If I'm Celtic, now they beat Celtic, really. If I'm Celtic, if you go to their place and you get a draw, you keep it low, you have every chance to go back to your place and getting a result. Because Bayern going forward are okay, at the back, Kim Min-jae plays at the back.
Eric Dyer.
Eric Dyer. You know what I mean?
We all want Liverpool to win the league, though, right?
Oh yeah, Arsenal.
Yeah, kind of Arsenal.
For two reasons. If Liverpool win the league title, they will like draw level with Man United as well, which would make them like most league titles, most Champions Leagues as an English club. That will make them the biggest club in England. And well, it's not us. It would at least be better than having Man United be the biggest club.
We're on the way there. We're on the way there. I mean, eventually we'll get there, but I don't really care about that right now. I
just want Man United fans to not have that. No, it's not about us. It's just about them not having that. Like saying we have the most, because you can always say Liverpool has more than you, and you know that's going to piss them off because they have a rivalry. So, anyhow, other than Carabao Cup here. I guess we're going backwards in time here on this stream. Let's talk about Arsenal again. Because there was just one thing I wanted to say there about Arsenal before we rounded up from that. Do you think that the game against Arsenal is the last time you'll see Matheus Nunes right back?
I'm really hoping that we... at the very least, I don't want to see that against Real Madrid, because Nunes versus Vinicius Jr. is a nightmare waiting to happen. So I am praying that Pep sees Nunes and sees Vinicius Jr. and knows that Vinicius Jr. will be rubbing his hands if he sees that happening. So probably not, to be honest. I think we will see that again this season. I think hopefully Rico gets it tomorrow. But
yes, probably.
We will probably see Nunes in other games, to be honest.
What I think is going to be Rico Lewis's future? I think Rico Lewis will start playing a lot more in midfield in the future. I think he's probably, and I mean, this is a bit of conjecture, I think he's probably working on physicality at the moment. That is probably the big training point for Rico Lewis. And maybe he hasn't played in a while because he's not up to the physicality yet that Pep wants him at. But I do think Rico Lewis, his future will be in midfield if he has a future at Man City. Potentially at right wing, but I doubt that. But I really hope with the signings we have made, Matheus Nunes to never play in right back again for us. Maybe in a cup game against, like, I don't know, Ipswich or whoever we draw, but not like in the Premier League anymore. I really don't want to see him there anymore.
I agree with that, to be honest. And in the summer, hopefully we get Cambiasso over the line, to be honest. Because
I think Cambiasso is the perfect right back for the... I've said this before, haven't I? I'm not sure. But I do think Pep Guardiola's perfect right back would be Cambiasso. He's quite similar to João Cancelo, actually, minus attitude problems. So Maybe not quite the quality of João Cancelo, but I think that Cambiasso is indeed the type of right back we're looking for. And he can play defensive midfield in case of an injury. But I don't think he'll play that consistently, though. So Cambiasso is who I'm hoping for. But on Arsenal, before we move on, anything else anyone wants to say about that Arsenal game?
I think for me, that game for me kind of told me everything I needed to know about this team right at the moment. I think because we all thought start of the year, got some wins, thought, right, are we back yet? And I kept thinking, no, like I need to see a lot more before I start thinking. PSG away was like, okay, right, no, we're not. And then Arsenal was more of a, yeah, we're not. Like mentally, this team has declined massively. I don't care about personnel. We need to get up here sorted out majorly. We are literally. You remember in the treble season where we were so good at being mentally strong, game management, even 1-0, 2-0. That's the part of the bar, or get in the corner, rattle the crowd, 2-0 away and get out of there.
Like not only in the treble season, there was a time where Man City could be 2 goals down, 20 minutes left to play, and I would be like, yeah, we're gonna win. And now it's the opposite. But I think for sure, we have to be improving, right? For sure, we have to slowly take these baby steps here. Thoughts on Akanji? Akanji for me is difficult, man. It's really difficult.
He's a backup player, not a starter for me. He's not a starter player.
Yeah. Akanji signed for City as kind of like our 5th choice for about 15 million. And he showed that he is probably better than your typical 5th choice. But it shows that this season has really shown like that he is good to bring off the bench probably to finish off a game. But he is not your starting 11 week in, week out centre-back. Definitely not for me.
I think he's underperforming right now because he's a bit overplayed. I think he can be a starter quality-wise, but not fitness-wise. How some players, they're just good players, but they lack a certain level of fitness. I think that's Akanji. I think when Akanji plays a bit too much, he gets very tired and needs some just rest. Just rest, I think he needs. So I think he can be a rotational player who's going to start like 50% of the games and stuff like that, but then it's going to get rest in the other 50%, right? And I do think he can be played for the big games, but if he gets Cambiasso, that will be a lot better than Akanji, I think. So I guess for the rest of the season, I would be happy to have him on right back, though. So I actually have him on right back in my Real Madrid 11. So do you guys want to do lineups for the FA Cup? Maybe you can do that first.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Because I have no idea. That is my lineup. I have no idea.
Well, I've got a team I would play, I think, but it depends on the team. I think I'll go Ortega in goal because I'm not playing Carson. I like Carson, but come on, man, it's a bit pity. Ortega's going in goal. I'll go Rico right back. I'll go Kushinov and Vito Hay as centre backs. Left back, I'll go Nico Riley. I'm not playing Guardiola. You're staying home, mate. I'm not playing you against him. Midfield, Nico Gonzalez. Gonzalez 1 half, and subbed off for whoever want to get on second half. Gundogan and McAtee midfield. And then go Jack Grealish, Marmouche, and probably on the right wing, I'll go with or someone. I don't know. Or Foden. Right wing's winner. I think for me, I'll go Savio or Doku if Doku's enough. It depends on what. Apart from that, that's probably what I'll go with, really.
Yeah. I don't have 11. I'm going to ask questions about everyone you put up, and I don't have an 11 because I am really not sure about just what the idea is for Pep going into this game. Because obviously we need to rest some players. You can say from reports, Bobb is fit to a certain degree or whatever, but at the end of the day, we don't really know. All I will say is the 3 things I'm sure about is Haaland needs to be rested. De Bruyne needs to be rested, and Gvardiol needs to be rested. Those three, I think you definitely need to rest because
Kev could play a little bit because he says at Arsenal he should have started with Arsenal. He should have started. I don't know why he was benched for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Arsenal he should have started. But
yeah. He can play off the bench, but he can't start.
Yeah, he won't start, bro.
Yeah. So connect your 11.
Basically, it's along the same lines, to be honest. Ortega in goal, right back Lewis, centre backs Kusanov and Victor Vitor Hayes. Left back, I was thinking Vardio, but I forgot about that Salford game, and yeah, I do agree that it should be Nico. Absolutely get Gonzalez in the pivot and play probably going to play Gundo there. Right wing McAtee. I'm gonna go Marmoush at the 10 because he can play there. He's played a few games there for Frankfurt, and I think also it's a good game potentially for him to get a goal. And I think getting that first goal will just remove any doubt of himself out of his mind. Think, all right, I've gotten the goal now, I've done it. And any block in his head. I know he's only played like 2 matches.
Because I would have
go for that.
Bobb on the bench. Bobb and Marmoush. You have 2 players there for striker. Haaland, yeah.
What do you think? What do you think, by the way? Sorry again I keep interrupting you. My apologies. Yeah. What do you think about Mubama striker, Marmoush striker? Do you think that's possible?
I think Marmoush is probably more likely to play off the left than he is the right. But I think that could very well happen. I wouldn't write that off.
Yeah, that was just a thought that popped into my mind as you mentioned Mubama, because I actually forgot we had him. I can't lie. I don't really follow the academy a lot. Like a lot of people watch academy football, but I don't follow that because I find it very difficult to say how good academy players are. Because sometimes players you think are really good from the academy, you see them play for the big team and they're nowhere near. So I just don't follow that, if I'm being honest. So it's a difficult 11 for me against Leyton in the FA Cup. Not because it's a difficult game, but for the exact opposite reason. And then you have a big game after that, right? So you're picking an 11 with Real Madrid in mind, which, especially with how thin our squad is, even after the signing, so to be honest, that is a bit difficult in my opinion. But I think Pep Guardiola will play a few academy players there that we maybe didn't expect. But what exactly he's going to do, I can't really predict that, if I'm being honest. So more interesting maybe lineups for against Real Madrid. Maybe I should start with this one.
Yeah, sure. Go on.
Because I didn't give a lineup for the FA Cup. So, I mean, we all have Ederson in goal, right?
Yeah, for me.
All of us? Yeah, okay. Gvardiol left back, Stones and Husanov in defense and centre backs, and then right back Akanji, out of necessity, not because I rate him there. Then in midfield, I have either Nico O'Reilly with Kovacic, or if Pep Guardiola decides he's not ready yet, Kovacic with Grealish. But I think I prefer Nico Gonzalez there, but I think Pep might surprise us with something there, because obviously he's only just joined. Marmoush then in attacking midfield. I think left wing will be Salvinho, right wing will be Foden, and striker Haaland. And I think De Bruyne will come off the bench. That's not exactly what I want, but that's just what I think will happen. But I would prefer him to start, but I'm predicting what Pep will do. I don't think he's starting. Yes, Marmoush has played right wing, by the way. Someone in chat asked that.
I think for me, with that team, right, I think you're not fucking. Look, would you risk Diaz this game, or would you bench him and then get back fitness for the away leg? Because I think, look, because Diaz is a hard one now, because you want to play him, but it's too early. Is it going to injure him again? Like, it's because it is really fit. Diaz Stones, 100%. That's about 2. I'm sorted then. But it's just I don't know whether he's 100% fit or not. If he's fit and actually, I watched training, he looks good. He looks fine. But I don't want to be risking another injury because we need him fit.
Yeah.
So
we do have.
I think exactly. It's not a plan. So it's if everyone's fully fit, right? It'd be Ake, Stones, Diaz, Ake, Vardiol. Back 4. There you go. Sorted. But the problem is we have no idea where everyone is because although they're back training, it's not like they're 100% fit, is it? It's like they're back in training again. It's not like it's 100% fit. They're still ready to go again. Because if that's the case, then great. But I have a feeling it's probably going to be. It's probably going to be either. I don't know because for me it can't be Nunes. Right, it can't be. If we're doing that, it's over. Because there's no way because he is not good enough at the back to deal with Junior. It was old Carl Walker. I wouldn't care because straight away he ain't get past old Carl Walker. But Walker now, definitely not Walker now. Definitely not. But yeah, I think you're not far off. It's probably what I would go with myself because I mean, obviously, I want Kev to probably start this game because Kev's good at Madrid. He is good at Madrid, but it's whether or not I think with Marmoush and Haaland, you need someone who can thread the ball to them, and Kev could do that easily. But
but me, you know what my thing is? I agree with that. I agree with that, Luke. But like, I agree that he should start. I just don't know if Pep will play him. Like, do you think he will?
I drop Foden. For me, with Foden, I'll drop him.
For me, when you look at De Bruyne's minutes as of late, he didn't start against Arsenal. You know what? He got 20 minutes versus Arsenal. I'd be very surprised if he gets more than half an hour against Leyton Orient. I think we're almost saving De Bruyne for this game. I think we're almost saving his legs for it. So I've got a feeling De Bruyne will start this game. And for me, I feel like you should try and find a way to get De Bruyne and Marmoush together because Marmoush's runs and Haaland's runs, they're going to cause issues for a weak Real Madrid backline. There's no Rudiger due to injury, which is really good.
No Alaba.
No Alaba, no Eder Militao.
A CDM, a young centre back. Like, come on. I'm sorry, right? We have got to be beating this team. I know it's Madrid. I know it is. And they're attack lethal. But their defense is worse than our defense. It's worse. You have to kill them. It's not hard.
We have to beat them.
5-6 goals. You have to. Yeah, because if we win by let's say 5-1 or 5-2, I'm taking that. Well, it's 3 goals and Bernabeu. At least I've got a bit of a cushion to chill out, park the bus, and then just get a ball carrier somewhere and get. Look, for me, right? I would much rather go Bernabeu Tuesday than Etihad. Get out of the way. So this is what to expect. But
just to ask then, Luke, by the way, just to ask. So your front 3 would be Marmoush left, Haaland up top, and right wing Savinho in that case?
Yeah. I drop Foden. I think Foden for me he's been good. He's scored goals, but has he played well? Not really.
Not really.
Like goals are good. Good, yeah, of course they are. But it doesn't mean you play well. And I've been watching him and I think there's something going on with him. Like we all know how good Foden can be. He's probably the best English talent in the world. The problem is right now he's in his head. When you're in your head, it's hard to get out of there. And you might need therapy or a psychologist to help him get out of there. I think the talent is still there. That's not gone. That is still there. It's up here. That is the issue.
Yeah,
Haaland's fine. Wood's fine. It's just he needs to get his head sorted out. Right?
Well, Haaland is overplayed a bit as well, so I won't say he's fine, but I get what you're saying, right? Actually, that is going to be an entirely different debate, so I won't say that yet, but what I'll just quickly say is I did make a video about Phil Foden, and I don't know if you watched it or not. I did like the capital crime of calling Phil Foden a system player. Now, I didn't say he was bad, and I did that, but what I mean by that, is like some players just lack a certain amount of personality or individuality. And those types of players, sometimes stuff will be going on in personal life and they'll take that onto the pitch. They need to be in pristine condition when going onto that pitch. They need to be, and I'm not saying that Foden is weak-minded, by the way, not at all, but some players need to have a system to safeguard them. I think Foden is that type of player. So Foden's problem is he needs a system to safeguard him. When everything fails, what most players do is they go back to basics. What I call a system player is someone who, instead of falling back to their basic skills, they lack that confidence in themselves and they fall back to a system. That is what Foden is. When the system doesn't quite work, they can't fall back on it because it doesn't work. So I think that's the problem with Foden right now. Come again?
Like for England Euros. Because at the Euros, same. Now he said, yeah, I was playing left, but we all admit, you know the levels required for that tournament. He was terrible. And the problem is, you are still a brilliant footballer. Your system to make you good. It's part of the team system, not your system. It's to help the team play in a way that suits you all. Foden should be able to play any system given to him, adapt to it. Now, for England, I know it's Southgate's an absolute fraud, but that's not the point. He should still have found a way, like Bellingham did, like Palmer did, like Saka has done, like Kane has done, to find a way. Now, Kevin De Bruyne is not a system player. Wolfsburg proved that perfectly. Belgium proved that perfectly. That guy could go to any team.
He's been our best player. Like, okay,
Haaland, exact same.
This is about to be very salty, by the way, by me. No Belgian actually thinks that Eden Hazard was good for the Belgium. And that is like a capital crime in it for people who aren't Belgian. Eden Hazard, I'm going completely off topic, my apologies. Eden Hazard did not give a fuck about this country, man. Everyone ask average Belgian their opinion on the best player for the Belgian national team. Kevin De Bruyne all day long. Eden Hazard was shit for us. It's one good tournament for us and people hype him up for it. And that tournament we lost to Wales.
It's fanboy, honestly.
Absolutely.
Look,
but yes, sorry for going on topic.
If De Bruyne had Lukaku who was actually clinical, you probably would have won a tournament. But Lukaku is a bozo.
Yeah, absolutely. The amount of chances Lukaku missed against France, against Croatia, against Italy, like every time that we go out of a tournament, it's because Lukaku or Hazard, by the way, also missed a big chance when we went out. Don't forget about that. De Bruyne has never been the reason why we went out of a tournament, really. In fact, he was the reason we got out of the group against Denmark, was it, in the Euros? He's the reason we got out of that group. And I'm talking about like the Euros before the 2024, like the COVID Euros. Anyhow, that went way off topic. Coming back to Real Madrid here. I understand what you're saying, Luke, about Real Madrid being weak. But it's like, for you to half his glass empty, but for me it's half full, right? I think, again, it's the same situation for both of us. I'm not going to say I think we should beat them, because I think we're terrible right now. But I think we can beat them. I think we can beat them, but we have to do it at the Etihad. I don't think we're winning at Madrid.
What we've got to do is stop being stupid on the ball. When you've got the ball and there's someone coming at you and you think, crap, I can't play one, clear the ball out for a throw-in. Even if it's a bit out of character, get everyone back together in unit. It should be, because Pep's got to get out of his head now. Look, the style of play right now isn't working. We need to go back to basics, to a simple style, and then adapt and change the system around your style of play and find a solution. The problem is at the moment is, Pep's trying to put squares around holes and it's not working anymore. It will not work. Nunes at right back does not work. It's time to go back to a conventional system of play and play simple passes. Arsenal, the amount of times that we've passed the ball, like, was it Stones hospital pass, Foden hospital pass? Stop doing that. Just pass short if you have to, or keep it simple. Keep it simple. When you get a chance, put it in the back of the net. So it sounds very simple, but that's what we've got to do. It's a simple game of football.
Absolutely. And I just got a question in chat here, and I'm going to ask it to connect, because everyone knows my answer about this already, if you watch my channel. You think Haaland will be playing more on the wings?
On the wings?
On the wings.
I mean, it would throw off Madrid, to say the least.
So, put some context here, because I think I got you two off guard with that. For some context, when Haaland played at Dortmund, one thing he loved to do is to go down the left wing, and then whoever plays left wing will throw him into the striker spot. And if you have a left winger who can score goals, that is very helpful, because they can't mark Haaland too closely when he's on the wings, because they'll open up room in the box. So, and Haaland has incredible crossing on him, by the way, for those who watch Dortmund. So what I said is Haaland will be a striker, but you need to put two clinical wingers next to him, because what Haaland likes to do is, he's not like Kane. What Kane likes to do is he likes to go into midfield and he likes to help him build up that way. How Haaland helps him build up is by going down the wings and then going back into the box, and that way he kind of ghosts himself into the box as well. So could we do that with Haaland and Marmoush, by the way? That is the exact reason why we got him, I think. I've talked about that a bit. Marmoush is the exact profile that you need to allow Haaland to roam freely on that top four. He'll never drop into midfield. That is not his play. To allow him to roam freely on that top three area, and you'll see a lot more from the best side of Erling Haaland, I think, both in build-up and goal scoring, because it will take a load of him goal scoring wise, which will mean he'll score more goals in some way. So that is the context there. You can try answering that again now.
Okay. I think when you put it like that, I think that could be a really interesting game plan we'd go for, and definitely one Real Madrid I don't think would expect. Because, like you say, Marmoush, he's been having the season of his life at Frankfurt. He's got like 34 GNA for them, I believe, before he joined us. So he's clearly clinical with like 20 goals, and only behind Kane, I think, in Bundesliga top scorers.
Yeah, he had 15 goals.
I think that could be a really interesting game plan, because, look, defenders like to basically hug Haaland. You've just got to look at one game with him playing against Rudiger. And to be fair, it works for the most part. But I think if you did make him almost drift out to the wings a bit, and then someone like Marmoush, who's quick, burst into the striker area, and they make something work with that. And I think with someone as genius as KDB as well, I think he could do something with that as well. So I think that'd be a really interesting game plan. I just don't know how in practice it is at City. So if we did do that, fair play. We've had an absolute masterclass. But I just don't know. I don't know if Pep is really thinking about that.
I do think he's what I'm saying. By the way, I'm not saying that Haaland will be like Gareth Bale, right? That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is. He'll just after that Chelsea game, by the way, go back to Chelsea now. You know how you guys said, "Wow, look at how much Haaland was on the wings after that game." That's what I'm talking about. Like in that Chelsea game, he is going to do that all. I'm not saying he's going to be doing that all game, but that's like what we're talking about here. Where Haaland is going to get a lot more involvement, I think, in build-up play, in a different way from Kane. But any Pep debate, we'll talk about that later, I suppose.
Do you know what, right, quickly? What we need against Madrid is, you remember when KDB got that header of 2 minutes a couple of years ago to Madrid?
Yeah.
That was a quick start. We need that, but don't see a stupid 2-1, 2, 3, 4. It needs to be a game where everyone goes in. Just start playing pot shots, because I can't handle it. If we get 4 or 5 passes without reply, then they have to go to us and beat us 6-0. Which, if we lose 6 to Madrid, then I've got to start asking questions about everyone at that point. Because I know they're a good team, but seriously, a game like this Surely you must have learnt your lesson now. Surely. Like, how many more lessons do I teach you, old man, before you start realising, actually, you've got to actually defend? Honestly, I hope Arsenal away it's finally the actual, like, the wake-up call, finally, after 8 wake-up calls before that. Because it's been a pain.
I mean, maybe this scoreline is bad enough to be the wake-up call, and their fan base. Maybe their fan base has made Pep realize something, because that fan base is embarrassing, by the way. Like, and I don't agree. I think they have the worst fan base in the Premier League, and I did not care about Arsenal if they won trophies or not. Like, I was like, okay, they won a trophy, good for them. Until we got in a title race with them, I've never seen more arrogance than that. I genuinely prefer Man United fans over them. And I hate Man United, just to preface. That fan base is unreal. Like, that fan base, how can you be... I can't put words to it. They are more arrogant than Real Madrid. They have less respect for us than Real Madrid. Real Madrid. Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Arsenal's fan base is a different breed, to say the least. Yeah.
Big up to South Safe, by the way. South Safe.
Stand by. Like, George Floyd, right? It's like Haaland Istanbul. Haaland scored against you guys. He scored a goal against. He literally celebrated, put the ball on the floor and had a header.
You know what's the funny thing? Erling Haaland has the most goals and Man City Arsenal fixture since he arrived, and I believe he's 3 goals short of having most goals flat out in that fixture. So they realize no Arsenal player has scored more goals against Man City than Haaland has scored against Arsenal, right? They don't seem to realize that. Like, he has scored almost every time we've played against them, haven't he?
Yeah, mate, the thing is, right, that game, right, if we were just so good, if we were just literally not so stupid at the back, right, I could easily be a 2-1 win of us. Like, the old City would have got a 2-1 win. Or grind out a draw or something like that. But a minute after you score a goal, you decide to play a ridiculous hospital pass. Why don't you just hold on to the ball or pick it out for a throw-in or whatever, or put it on to Haaland? Just do anything other than pass across, and then also Stones backing off pass that I've done, honestly. That entire second half was worse than Liverpool away, or lost 4-3. Worse than Everton away at 4-0. That's the worst I've ever seen it. The worst ever, because I've never seen so many points from a team in all my life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I've got something here from chat, which I'll read out to you guys. Let me get this correctly. Out of FA Cup, we have the Carabao Cup. This is Arsenal fans, obviously. Out of Carabao Cup, you're jealous. You are focusing on Champions League and Premier League. Out of Champions League and Premier League. And then next season, we'll win the cup. That is Arsenal fan base. It's like a train. It just... The wheels of the bus go round and round, right?
Well, I'm sorry, lads, but Martinelli's injured now for a month minimum now with a hamstring injury. That's Saka and Martinelli both gone now. What Trossard's going to do, is he? He's not. Havertz, no. Good luck, lads. Good luck trying to do that, because Ethan Mallory, he's a baller, by the way, good player.
Yeah.
He'll
Really
get ruined. Lewis Skelly will get ruined. They're good players.
Absolutely.
That will play into the ground and will get them injured.
He did the same with Saka.
Saka's suffering for it right now.
The injury Saka got, it's like the worst hamstring injury you can get. He is not coming back.
Even Mallory's a really, really good player. His goal, by the way, was brilliant. Great goal. It's like fair play.
Absolutely.
But he's 17. It is just Pep. Pep would play him every now and again off the bench, like Foden did, off the bench every now and again. Not overplayed. He's getting played way too many games. I said to Arsenal fans about Saka. Saka's a great player, brilliant player, not world class, but a very good player. But he played again. Arteta can't play players consistently. He has to overplay them, because he has to rely on them, because the club don't give him players that experience to give. Look, Arsenal for me are a mess that will never ever change or get better. There'll always be this team that will just be.
I think Arsenal.
Sorry, go on, mate.
I think Arsenal's problem is, you know how Arsenal is like presented as class and tradition, right? Like that is their thing, class and tradition. You know what's the problem with that? Arsenal was about to go bankrupt before ever winning a major trophy. We at least waited to go bankrupt after winning 9 major trophies. They had never won a major trophy. They were about to go bankrupt. Then came in Chapman. That era started. And then they started winning trophies. Then he was found guilty for illegal payments. Found guilty, by the way. Not just charged, found guilty. He was banned from football for life. So when Arsenal fans talk about class and tradition, I mean, if you believe Man City is guilty of the 115 charges, we've got the same class and tradition rules, so hold that. Arsenal fans are just weird. Like, I think it's the weird area that they have, where they've got like these fans from like mid 2000s, mid and early 2000s, and the people who grew up in that era. No offense, I grew up in that era as well. Let's be honest, these men are socially awkward. 90% of our generation do not know how to go outside and talk to people. That is the generation that Arsenal fans have. Let's be honest here. So I think their generation, because I think later generations know how to deal with the internet a lot better than we did when it first came out. I think their fan base is just disproportionately more weird. And I'm not sure if that's like offensive to say or anything, but that is my opinion on it. So Connect, I've got a question here for you. And actually, before I go to you, Connect, let me just answer something here in chat. Rosa, I know you're joking, Rosa. I know you're joking. But let me just clarify this, I suppose, for everyone who doesn't watch me regularly. When I am Pep Out, you need to realize that goes all the way back to the drawing against Feyenoord, which might as well be losing. I was Pep Out because I wanted to save the season. At that point, I think the season could be saved by sacking Pep. It's way too late for that. It is way, way too late for that. So, do I think Pep still deserves to be here? No, because I think we could have saved the season by sacking Pep earlier. However, the signings we have made in January are Pep Guardiola signings. We have given him half a rebuild. Why would we sack him now instead of in the summer? Like, I don't think he deserves to be here anymore because, going by his own words, past achievements don't matter. Pep's words, Pep's own words. But he is still here. And you've given him half a rebuild. Sacking him doesn't make sense. So, my opinion is, why is he still here? Because, let's be honest, his past achievements, that's all. Because, let's be honest, it's been a disaster of a season. We're not going to sack him. There is really no point in debating this anymore, I think. After a game, when I'm salty, I will debate it. But, let's be honest, it's been a week now. The salt is gone. There's no point in debating Pep in or out. Because we'll give him 300 million in the summer. And we'll probably win the league title again. So, no point.
Alf, the thing is, though, right, and you are perfectly entitled to have that opinion because people say, "Oh, you're wrong for that." In negative, they're not screw them, right? Because they're people that can't as a critical because I fear of not being a real fan of the club. Honestly, if you're not being critical is part of being a fan. You got to be critical at the right moments, also part of the right moments. But for me, I've questioned Pep a lot this season. I'm not saying I'm not saying he's a bad manager. Maybe he's not. But I question him on why in the summer he didn't ask for players. He said, "I'm happy with this." Like, no, come on. The fans could see it from a mile away last season. This was always going to come if he didn't invest in the team. I didn't ask for like 5 players, 3 or 4. Like just come in, fresh him a little bit, Bruno G, something like that. Instantly improves midfield a lot more, a bit more stable by injuries.
And
this season.
If we had more players, we would have had less injuries as well. Because a part of injuries was rushing players back and overplaying players, right?
Exactly. And the thing is, I'm not people who say, "Oh, you can't say you want Pep Out," no, you can. That's an opinion. It's not Korea. We're not sitting here. Can't say that to offend this that. If you don't like what people have to say, don't follow them. People.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't follow them. We put content out there to give our opinion. We're not doing this to please you. It's our opinion. Like our opinion, fair. If you don't like it, fair enough. That's the beauty of YouTube having a say on these kind of shows. I don't agree with what you guys say, but I agree with you both because you both have a chat, have a say, and we're still going to agree on things. If it was agree on things, it'd be boring. It'd be utterly boring.
Why would we do this if we always agreed?
Exactly.
Why would we have this panel if we always agreed? The entire point of a panel show is that someone is going to disagree at some point, right?
We all want the best of the club. We all want the club to keep winning and improving.
Yes.
We get that every season we'll win the league. It will happen. It's football. It's part of the game. We win every year. But what you do is you think, right, it didn't happen this year. Let's go again and get better and try and get it back next year. That's what we want as fans. To keep improving and to keep constantly looking to be the best thing we possibly can. Trophies are part of that, not the reason. They're part of the journey of being good.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, yeah, right. But go on now. People just need to get out of there sometimes.
You know what's the funniest thing, by the way, about all that? If you go through my channel, in fact, do this right now. Go to my channel and look at all my Pep Guardiola videos. Like all my videos focused around Pep. They are the worst performing videos on my channel. Which is funny because people say you only do this for clicks and views. They are generally the worst performing videos on my channel. So, and I always lose a subscriber on days that I talk about Pep Guardiola. So people will say you do it for clicks and views. And people from both sides will say that because they can't comprehend someone disagreeing with them, I suppose. My opinion is, regardless what your opinions are about a football club, there's only one thing that determines whether you're a fan, and that is if you consider yourself a fan. Nothing else matters. And if you criticize people, that is fair. If you insult them, attack them, like death threats, that is no longer fair. Carl Walker, I can criticize that he has cheated, that he's done bored by the club, that he's been a terrible captain, that he's done bad things in like interviews, but I will never say, I will never send him a death threat, right? That's way over the top.
Yeah, that's...
And I feel like a lot of people have lost the ability to criticize and still show respect.
Yeah.
Trust me. And Twitter's worse for that as well. Twitter is absolutely worse for that.
Twitter is worse.
There might be people that will question me about whether I'm not a City fan or not because I don't agree with what they say. Like, come on, guys. I don't care if you're Manchester or not, man. There's no need to be an ass. We're all we're doing it for what we do. But the beauty of us, the fan base, that we all want the clubs to do well and to get better. I never ever ask for trophies. If we get them because of how good we are, great. But trophies, I never give it to you. You have to earn them. You have to earn that trophy. You can't go and get it because you have a great team. That's what we've got to remember as fans. You're given them. You have to earn them as part of being a good team, playing the style play. But this season has been the worst we've seen it. A Discord for fan base. One of the worst we've seen it. Sadly.
Yeah. So. By the way, we are going to redirect to Desert City when this stream is done, but just a little bit longer here. Last topic here, I think, just to round off, and I think we'll talk about this a little bit every week. We won't spend too much time on it, though. What are your opinions on the top 4 race here? Who is your biggest team to look out for? Who are you most scared of, basically?
Go. You first.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the table now. So we're on 41 points.
Fifth up, remember? Yeah. If we can get top 3, I'll just take that. I'm like, I look at that table. I keep thinking we need to get results this month. We can't be losing every game because of good teams. Newcastle needs to be a win. Liverpool needs to be a win.
Yeah.
For our own sake.
The Etihad games, we need to take those.
Absolutely. I think we need to be winning. Maybe not every
By the way,
game at the Etihad, but almost every game at the Etihad. I think we should win.
By the way, big up Forest.
Yes.
By the way, Forest are a good team and deserve a lot of respect.
Yeah,
We might do the Bournemouth and Pat Brighton 7-0. Fair play for that bounce back. That's brilliant.
Yeah,
Fair play.
They knew what they needed with the mentality in it. They knew if we get a 1-0, that's what's going to restore the feeling of losing 5-0, right? So or 7-0, I don't remember what it was, but they knew
7-0.
Yeah, they knew exactly what they needed in that moment. That is a brilliant manager. Let me just tell you, that manager. Yeah, I've just looked at him. Every time I think Forest is about to fall off here, that manager does the correct thing. He is brilliant. I can't lie. He is a brilliant manager. I won't say that Nuno is gonna be managing I don't know, Man City or anything. I won't say that, but he is 51 years old, relatively young in manager, in the managerial world. He's won trophies in his career. He could genuinely be a big manager coming up here. Do you guys agree with that?
I think if he keeps going the way he's going, and if he gets at least 5th place for Forest this season, and even getting European football is a phenomenal achievement considering where they were last year. They've exceeded everyone's expectations. I don't like to think about this too proudly, but in my Premier League predictions, which I did a video on at the start, I had them 20th, and they have completely.
Oh no, that's a statement. I can't lie. 20th when Southampton was in defeat.
Yeah, I know.
Wait, it's February 7th and they're 3rd place. February, it feels like it's November. There's 6 clear of us right now, and they've scored 40 goals, exceed 27. Yeah, we see a 35 goal, which is embarrassing, by the way. That is embarrassing. 35 goals conceded. Man, that is.
You're starting to make. It's hurting when you're saying that. It hurts when you say that. But you
got to do it. You got to show light on it. This is how bad it's got decision. It's been terrible.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. You're right to that, Luke. You know what, though? You know what? The biggest credit you have to give to Nottingham Forest this season is that they have stayed humble. They've stayed humble. To use Erling Haaland's words here. They have not let it get to their head.
Yeah.
Chris Wood. What a player for this. Chris Wood, Alanga, Hudson-Odoi, Murillo. Murillo, what a player.
You know what's funny?
Great team.
Most of these players are reject players from big clubs. Alanga, Hudson-Odoi.
Look at Murillo, right? Murillo's a great player. Young Brazilian centre back. I'm not saying I'm City, but he's pretty good for how good he is. You got to see. I've got to win the Alanga. Is it Ryan Yates midfield? They've got pretty much still a championship sort of base team, and they're doing really well because of it. Ola Aina's a good player. Ola Aina, Chelsea player, years ago. They've got a few players that they play their way. They're not a tiki taka play. They've got what they've got up front. They go for it. Got pace, power. They go for it. Fair play to them because it's working. And I think title, no. I can't see Forest win the league, barring Liverpool collapse. And if that happened, I'd like fair play. If Forest won the league, I'd actually be like, you know what, fairs. But I think Forest to me get Europe. I think Europe minimum. Top 4 is still up for debate still because it's still early days still a long go. But right now, fair play.
That final stretch of the season. That final stretch of the season where Man City I think Man City will still come to life in that end of the season. I still think with all the signings we've made, we will come to life. I think we will get we will get top 4 there quite comfortably. I think Nottingham Forest. If I'm being honest, I think Nottingham Forest could go one of 2 ways. They could reach April, May, and collapse. They'll still finish in top, in European spots, but they won't finish in top 5. Or they could go the absolute other way and keep winning and have a Man City-like run in that end of the season and get top 4 themselves. If that happens, I do think that Chelsea and Newcastle will both be out of top 4.
Alf, Forest next 3 games, Aussie post FA Cup, ignore the FA Cup game. Fulham away, Newcastle away, Arsenal at home. If you win those 3 games, then I'm thinking, all right, okay. Because if you're beating Arsenal right now is shit. Ignore the City game. Ignore it. We're worse. Yeah, we're bad. Well, Forest can beat them because Chris Wood against Salim Gabriel will be fun to watch because they were like, well, how do we deal with this guy? Because he's massive, tall, can get stuck in. Alanga, pace. I think Forest will have a rude awakening for Arsenal. A rude awakening.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they'll have a few rude awakenings here. I think Arsenal is about to get absolutely humbled. I like you the word humble now. It's become my favorite word. I think they're about to get absolutely humbled because they have a few tough games coming up, They have a few tough games coming up, Arsenal. I think their next game is... Sorry?
Sorry, go. I'm sorry. Go off.
I think their next game is Leicester, which is easier. But after Leicester, they've got West Ham, which they drop points to West Ham a lot. Like if you look at Arsenal against West Ham, that's always a stumbling block for Arsenal. Then they have Nottingham Forest. Then Man United at Old Trafford. Now, I know we like to clown on Man United, but let's be honest, that is a coin toss.
No draw.
You get good United or you get shit United. You don't know what United is getting. So then Chelsea. After that, Fulham, which has been another stumbling block for them.
Everton away hard.
Then they start getting easier games again.
Everton's hard though. Everton are good, by the way. They're a good team on the boys. They're doing really well.
Doing a good job.
Yeah, Everton. I think they will beat Everton. I think Everton is just in a purple patch right now, going into the derby. But what do you think will happen in that derby?
What, Liverpool? Draw 2-2. I think Liverpool will find it difficult. Everton will be up for it.
It's lost It's lost Goodison Derby.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they're moving into their new ground next season, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Technically this season with how the new season works, but they're not going to play in the Premier League this season in that new stadium. Goodison, I think you're going to see. You can put random farmers from Everton on that pitch here. And last game at Everton, or like at Goodison, that stadium is going to be explosive. It's going to be the most atmosphere you'll ever have seen at Goodison, I think. I don't think Liverpool will get away with a point, and they might surprise. They might surprise me. They're not bad. They're the best in the league right now. I genuinely think the prime goal of Everton right now is to stop Liverpool from winning. Go back to when we were kids, right? When we were kids, what did we want to do every year? Beat Man United. We could be 17th in the league. We don't care as long as we beat Man United twice. That is where we used to be at. That is right now the same feeling they have, but they're about to leave Goodison Park. Last derby in Goodison. That is going to be an explosive atmosphere, I think. I think they'll beat Liverpool. And, their goal is just to ruin Liverpool's season, right? Isn't it?
I think they'd love that. I think all Everton fans would like that.
They would celebrate if they could be the reason why Liverpool don't win a league title. They would celebrate that for years.
Yeah. They were last season. They basically, their full capitulation, it really ended at the 2-0 loss, I think, at Goodison. That's really where it all fell away for Liverpool, and they were out of it.
Yeah, so. You're right, isn't it? You're right. But yeah, that's it, I suppose, for me. Before we leave here, question from the Silt here in chat. Do you think Man City will win the Champions League?
I'm not going to say no because there's a reason for that. Remember, this is a playoff, by the way. We're playing a playoff here. So if we can get our midfield stable, now if Gonzalo stabilises the midfield, we stop making stupid mistakes at the back and play a bit more better as a team, we have a chance of winning it. The problem I've got is, can this team mentally recover over the next few weeks? Can it get its act together? Because I think the thing is, if we go behind, let's say for example, right, Real Madrid, we win both legs and get through. Then we've got Leverkusen, Atletico Madrid,
or Atleti.
Atletico away will be difficult to go to. Alvarez will put the proof against us.
Yeah.
Griezmann, the ball, they want to rattle us. Can this team mentally deal with that this time?
Simeone as well. Simeone.
I'm not saying no. Yeah. I'm not saying no. So I'm not going to say no. I'm going to say I've got to see more. If we get through, I'll give you an answer.
Diego Simeone's son, by the way. Don't know if you guys watched it. Diego Simeone's son.
Yeah, good player.
Yeah, scored of grace. He scored of grace in the quarterfinal.
He got Griezmann, Sorloth, Simeone, and Alvarez. It's like us having Aguero, Dzeko, Negredo, and Balotelli a couple of years ago. It's like 4 strikers that are good.
And they've got good wingers as well. They've got Lorenzo. They've got what is his name?
Okay.
Yeah, they've got some good wingers, man. They've got some good wingers. And if we get past Atletico or Leverkusen, it will be Internazionale or Arsenal in the quarters.
Yeah.
And then
Arsenal,
in the semis.
I want Arsenal. Imagine if we beat Arsenal after that Emirates.
Then in the semis, Liverpool or Barcelona are most likely. Potentially PSG.
Well, but Alf, imagine if we beat Arsenal at the Emirates, right? Last minute Haaland winner, and he shushes the camera, tells him to stay humble.
Imagine if you lose.
If we beat in the Champions League, right? I'm gonna hold it over them for the rest of their lives. 5-1 doesn't matter anymore. You got again, a long way to go, but it'd be nice to have that kind of story. Beat Arsenal, beat Liverpool, beat Barcelona, win the Champions League. It'd be nice. It'd be nice.
I wish. If we finish like 10th in the league title or like in the league table, which I don't think will happen, but like hypothetically, right? If we finish 10th, but we win the Champions League, I mean, then I'm happy about it. Then. Because Champions League, is our last chance. Well, FA Cup is our last chance, I think, but like we're not going to get Premier League title. So FA Cup and Champions League are our last trophies left. If we FA Cup, you can get to the final without playing anyone. Champions League, that is an immense run. Atletico, let's say Arsenal, then let's say Liverpool, and then in the final, I don't know who you play, maybe Bayern Munich, maybe someone else in the final. That's an immense run, you know? So if you win the Champions League on a run like that, it somewhat restores like the confidence of the team as well, because it's like, okay, in the league we didn't do it, but in the biggest stage we did it every time. So it's a bit mixed for me. But I will say if we get to the semi-final, go all in. If we get to the semi-final, absolutely by all means go all in.
This is the thing, Alf. Playing Madrid a playoff. This isn't a quarterfinal or a semi-final game. This is a playoff game. Like what? A playoff? For us, it's like, well, it's a final before even the last 16.
Yeah,
so if we go out, I'm gonna be pissed off. You beat Madrid, you can't never cruise to Atletico Madrid. Like at that point, you have to win it. So yeah. Bring it on, though. Bring it on. Not. Well, what else could happen?
The word that could happen is more humbling, but we're humble now, so that's fine. Anyhow, any predictions for the Real Madrid game? I don't care about the FA Cup. Any predictions for the Real Madrid game here before we round up?
Go on, Grant. You go first, mate.
Well, if you watch my channel regularly, I don't think I've ever predicted a City loss, so I'll stick to that. I'll go for a bold 4-1 win.
7-0 now. So 7-0 City.
7-1. 7-1. Let's say reasonable, eh?
Yeah. No, for me, it's all about how we start the game. We've got to start quickly. We can't be hitting the crossbar, hitting them wide, not scoring the bar. It has to be first time we get bang goal, like Kevin De Bruyne and Jesus a couple of years ago. It's got to be quick fire. Haaland, please turn up against Real Madrid. Please, you've got to now. If you can't beat Sunshao and Chouameni, get out of there. Come on, bro. Got to turn up. So I'll go 3-1. It's not a lot, but it's still a win to hit there and go for it.
I will go with something a bit more wild. Actually, this might get you days of 4-3. I'll go with 4-3.
Not 4-3 again. Can't do that again.
God, please. Like, I have a cross. You guys want me to get the cross and pray before we end stream? But yeah, I'll go with 4-3 because I think we can score. I don't think we can defend, and I think they have the same problem. But I think we're at home. Please, for the love of God, I think we're going to get 4-3. I just have that feeling. That is going to be very nerve-wracking at the Bernabeu. Please, if we get through that, I mean, beating Real Madrid in Champions League, that is going to be massive confidence boost, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the feeling would be big in the club, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. So yeah, that's about it here for this stream, because I think we could keep talking about Real Madrid here, but I did promise to redirect to this City, so we should round up here. Thank you both again for coming on. Go subscribe to Connect and to Luke if you somehow haven't already, and I'll see you guys.